Hey challengers, welcome to our Beachbody Fit family. My name is Becky Schrader and I am your Beachbody coach. So we are on prep week day 6. It is Saturday. It's the weekend. I know you guys are probably super busy with family and fun. It's springtime. But there are some important things that you need to do this weekend to get ready to go on Monday. Most importantly, we're back to the food topic, is to plan out how you are going to prepare your meals. Okay, so if you haven't already picked some recipes that you want to try this week and gone to the grocery store, gotten your food supplies, and mapped out how you're going to track your menu and your daily food, I encourage you guys to do that today. Don't put it off until the last minute. All it's going to do is make it more stressful for you. So what I suggest is that, especially in your first week, if this is your very first time using your program, keep it super simple. It might not be the most glamorous or amazing meal plan for the week, but just keep it simple, right? Your goal is to get success, not to, make it so complicated on yourself that you give up midweek and go back to your old habits. All right, so make your plan simple. Basic foods, things that you like. Don't worry about variety so much. We'll get into that in week 2 and week 3. So usually in your meal plan, I know a lot of these have them now. Let's just see, right? They actually have full-on recipes that are calculated for you using the portion containers that we went through yesterday. Okay, so I would consult your plan first, right? There's a little bit different recipes in each plan, but they all, again, go back to those containers. So throughout our group, myself and all of us are going to be contributing recipes to our group so that as a whole, we can all find that variety, find that interesting meal plans and meal choices so that we don't get bored and give up, right? So watch for those. I'll be posting recipes upon recipes upon recipes into our group in an album that you guys can page through if you run out of ideas. Or alternatively, if you have something that you really, really want to make and you have a recipe that you're planning to follow, but you're not sure how to correlate it to your containers to know what to count for that meal, post it in our group and I will help you reverse engineer it and figure out what containers would be used for a single portion. Okay, so that's number 1. Check out your eating plans for recipes. Go back to yesterday, day 5, and make your grocery list, plan out your menu for the week, and then go to the store, get all your stuff. Okay? One last thing on recipes. If you need recipe ideas, if you're just totally at a loss, if you're just like not there yet on healthy eating options, this is a great book to pick up. Again, you can get it in your teambeachbody.com website. Go to shop. It's under the Fixate cookbook. It has 100 recipes in here. Breakfast, snacks, lunches, dinners, dressings, desserts, everything. It's a great reference book. And again, everything is tied back into what the portion containers correlate to. So again, it takes all that guesswork out. Our goal this week is to make onboarding into your program as easy as possible so that you don't have to fight against the current, so to speak, to make this a successful week for you. Okay, let me talk to you real quick about food prep. Today, tomorrow, sometime over the weekend, once you go to the store and you've got all this food in your house, the last thing you want to do is just let it sit there in your cabinet or your fridge, just staring at you, right? You want to get ahead of the game and help yourself, help your tired self later in the week by doing some upfront work this weekend. Okay, so my suggestions are, number 1, if you have any vegetables, right, that you're gonna eat raw, go ahead, vegetables like carrots or, broccoli or peppers or whatever, anything that you're gonna use as like a fresh vegetable, right, or even if you're gonna saute it or something, I recommend that you take those and chop them up now. Put them in a plastic baggie or a Tupperware and put them back in your crisper. The less prep that you have to do for veggies at the time when you're sitting down to, make them into something, the better. Okay, so prep as much of your veggies as you can. Just chop them up, clean up, wash them off, clean them up, chop them up, put them in a container, stick them back in your fridge. All right, same thing goes for like proteins. If you are going to take with you like a grilled chicken breast for lunch, to work, go ahead and set aside some time this afternoon or tomorrow. Grill up all the chicken breasts. Put them in a container, stick them back in your fridge. Starches. There's a lot of starches that you can cook ahead of time that are still great to be used for lunches or even dinners if you want something super quick. So here's what we typically prep on a weekend at our house. Kevin will get all of our proteins that we're going to use for the week. Let's say it's, hamburger patties, pork chops, chicken tenders, and maybe like a steak, right? So we get a variety of proteins. He will, on one day of the weekend, he will go out and grill, marinate however he wants to, but go out and grill all the chicken tenders, all the pork chops, and cook up some hamburgers. Typically, that's the kind of stuff that we will use for lunches, some sort of a protein and then some sides. They don't have to be cooked fresh that day because you're going to be reheating them for lunch anyway. Okay? We might save, if we got like a whole chicken or something, or some sort of fish and the steak, we might keep those and cook them the night of our dinner just so that they are fresh. But for those things that you're going to use for lunch or for even protein snacks, go ahead and cook them all at once. Just cook it in batch. All right? The next thing we do on starches. I'll take that back. Sorry, one more thing on proteins. Usually what we always do is we will get a dozen eggs for hard boiling, and then we'll get another dozen eggs for, cooking like eggs for breakfast or whatever, right? But go ahead and you can boil a whole dozen eggs up front if you want. If you want to have hard-boiled eggs on hand, which we do, they're great snacks. Go ahead and boil up a whole dozen on the weekend. Stick them in a tub in your fridge, and then you can peel them and stick them in a tub, and then you can just grab them if you need a quick protein snack. Okay, what else? Starches. What we will typically do, we eat a lot of sweet potatoes in this house. We try to stay away from white potatoes unless it's a special occasion, and I love sweet potatoes, so it makes it easy. We'll get, a bunch of them, 4 or 5, and bake them all at once. Cut them in half lengthwise, put them in Tupperware, put them in the fridge. They are awesome if you reheat them for lunches or even, again, reheated for dinner as a side item. You can eat the whole skin and everything, and they're super easy, right? Bake it like 400, I think, for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Not much time. Other starches that we prepare ahead. Every week we prepare a big pot of steel cut oatmeal. I like steel cut oatmeal better than regular oatmeal because when you reheat it, it's less mushy. It doesn't get that like weird porridgey thing going on. It's like little, I don't know, it's better to me. But anyway, so we cook up a big pot of steel cut oatmeal, stick it in a Tupperware, stick it in the fridge. Then for either a mid-morning snack or pre-workout breakfast, you can just scoop out a yellow serving, microwave it, and you're good to go. Okay? So, trying to think what else. That's about it, guys. I mean, that even just doing that will help you immensely. Okay? If you can take as much off your plate as possible during the week, you will be able to survive this change in your eating habits much easier. Okay, so remember, prep as many proteins as you can. Make sure that you wash and cut up and prep your veggies as much as you can. And prep ahead any starches that you know you're going to use. Again, I typically focus on prepping all the stuff that I'm going to have or carry for lunches, and then leaving a few items fresh so that we can cook them at dinner time, throughout the week. But even sometimes at dinner, we just use stuff that we've already cooked to save us time and energy if we're not feeling it. Okay? So those are my tips for planning your meals and preparing your food in anticipation of this being your next, first week in our challenge. If you guys are struggling with recipes, again, post recipes that you like and we will reverse engineer them to fit your plan. Maybe make some swaps or whatever. If you have a great recipe that you love that fits the plan, post that in here and share it with the rest of the team. And any questions you have on the food part, please don't hold back on those. Just fire away, and between myself and the other coaches in here and the teammates who've been in here for a while, we will help you get off to a great start. Okay, so happy Saturday. Go enjoy your family, get your food prep done, and set yourself up for an awesome first week of our challenge. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.